Hi, folks. Robert Quigley, Washington, D.C., the Money Pit Group. Please subscribe to the channel, add your comments below, join the conversation, give us some interesting believe it or not facts. Today we're going to do a Quigley's Believe It or Not, and we are at the end of exponential growth. Believe it or not. About 50 years ago, some professors from MIT wrote a book titled Limits of Growth. They essentially said there was going to come a day when the growing economy was going to come to an end and we were going to transition into a period of contraction. They were not talking about the ebb and flow of the normal economic cycle. They were talking about the very big picture of the ebb and flow of the environmental, global, human existence cycle. So what am I talking about? The globe is approaching environmental limits. The whole idea that there's going to be economic correction and substitution, that whole debate, one thing becomes too expensive or becomes scarce, folks switch to other things. We're reaching that limit. There are physical limits to growth. Why is this time different? Well, let's go through some examples. If we kept felling trees, we're going to get more deforestation, which, as everybody knows, is happening throughout the Amazon, which is the lungs of the planet. We have a rising population, and we need to devote more land to agricultural uses. That leads to more species loss. We have increasing CO2 and methane emissions, aka we've got more cars, more cows, and melting permafrost, and all of this translates into global warming. Humanity is reaching the planet's boundaries. That's why it's different this time. CO2 emissions in the Western world were simply transferred to China and India and other developing countries. They were not taken away. They were just moved from one part of the planet to the other. But because of the circulation of the air around the planet, everybody suffers. Advanced economies can barely grow today. We've reached the top of everything. The only place we do have to grow is in what we would call the green growth economy, alternative energies, renewable ways of living, getting rid of plastic, reusing paper bags, for example. There's lots of literature. It talks about degrowth, post-growth, GDP growth only helps Wall Street. All of these concepts applied when we were on the upward slope of the exponential curve. Now we are headed down that slope. We can't go much further. The distance above our head is measured in, let's say, tenths of 1%, if you like. The areas that we must focus on: environmental sustainability, improved well-being of our fellow citizens, greater economic self-sufficiency. We need to deal with the declining inequality. And with that, folks, we're on the road to the White House. We have to deal with this issue. Subscribe to the channel, add your comments below, join the conversation. This time is different. Until we meet again.